This is a thread written by somebody named Alice that went absolutely viral about how they got replaced by AI. So this is their post on Twitter, but they also posted this on TikTok as well. And the user is Alice underscore Rovi, and they write a thread signed by an angry artist. Alice writes, how I got replaced with AI by a friend, and friends in quotes. So Alice writes, in 2016, I met a movie director and screenwriter who asked me to make my first ever short animated movie. I was younger and excited, so even if no payment was included, I did it. It was an opportunity. We worked for more than 6 months. She was the writer and director, and I made all the drawings, and our work got some prizes. Plus, it went on national television. It was a good collaboration. And Alice follows us all up with little sketches. These sketches are really cute. Alice continues, we kept in touch, and in 2019, she proposed that I draw a graphic novel she wrote. I made the whole storyboard, more than 80 colored pages, and some finished pages too. Our goal was to find a publisher. Nothing was paid to me, but I knew the project had good potential, and after all, I was just at the beginning of my career. This is already like a red flag. No. It's very common in the industry to work for free to kind of get your name out there. But man, I feel so bad for Alice. This person clearly sounds like they have no intention of paying Alice. 2016, they did all of this work for free. Maybe they had a limited budget. I don't know. They come back to Alice asking for a lot of work again. 80 colored pages is a lot. And don't blame Alice. A lot of new creators feel like they need to work for free to try to get their name out there. It is something that happens, but it's the fault of the person who is like knowingly taking all this work for free. Alice continues, I myself went to meet a publisher in my city, but they weren't interested due to copyright issues they feared to face. Her story was heavily inspired by a famous musician. So our project went through a hiatus. Alice writes, I kept in touch with the writer and she even asked me to exhibit the few finished pages at a public event in Rome. We were just waiting for time to come. Time passes and we occasionally heard each other talking about that old project, still hoping to find it a home. For 1 year, we went quiet until a few days ago, I looked at the storyboard I made and remembered how much potential it had. Since our collaboration started almost 10 years ago, I've certainly improved. This is my job now. So I thought, why don't we make it? This could become a web series, a webtoon. I felt ready to give her my support and to keep working on it together, letting her know there are many ways to publish a graphic novel today, until she answered me back. Oh no. And the person writes, so sorry, Alice. Many years have passed, so I made it myself using AI. It's now totally done. It's incredible how good it turned out. I'm about to animate the drawings and make a video out of them. You know, AI isn't even that easy to use. You have to work a lot on it, but I made it. Kisses. The audacity to say that AI isn't easy to use. You know what else isn't easy? Yeah, drawing it yourself, okay? And having the audacity to say it isn't even that easy to an artist. Let me know if you think they used the panels that Alice drew in their AI creation. Do you think they fed the artwork Alice made into AI? Something tells me Alice's work might have had AI trained on it by this person. Alice writes, first impression, delusion. Second impression, rage. All those years, all my dedication, my drawings, my passion, my time, my hard work, all thrown away to be replaced by effing AI. I replied, but my words weren't as sharp as I meant them to be. And Alice wrote, I'm sorry to know about this. I wanted to keep working on it. And I made the whole storyboard. You could at least tell me what you wanted to do, asking me if I was still interested. After all, I wasn't going to work on it without your permission. I want to remind you that Alice worked for free. Alice continues, she replied again, but I was no longer interested in her. Mad and disappointed, what I've now left is just my hand-drawn storyboard and some finished pages of a story I've been cut off from without even knowing. 20-year-old me didn't deserve this treatment. No artist does. But I won't waste all that time and work. I will, some way or another, give life to those drawings. I owe it to myself. I have no idea if my friend used my drawings to make her AI stuff. A storyboard is a very important part of the process. It is the first step, where you start to build a narrative. It is not a hobby, nor secondary to the script. And since I don't know what's going to happen, I'll be posting my drawings, just to make clear that they were made before the AI stuff she wants to make a video of. We will see later what's going to happen. And here are some examples of the drawings, and the drawings look so good. I'm against Gen AI personally, but at the end of the day, it's the people who make the choice to do those things, right? If you want to steal, you want to steal, and I'm against that idea. Like, some people will take people's artwork and trace over it. Like, if you made the decision to do that, I'm against your decision to do so. And Alice adds, so yes, that's it. Do not give your time in drawings away lesson? I don't know. I was young and needed to find a starting point, and honestly, I trusted that person. To the point that a few days ago, I was going to give her my experience and time again. I will try not to waste those drawings and to learn some kind of lesson. Meanwhile, if you like what I do or feel it has some value or brings something good to your days, first of all, thank you for being here and reading this. And if you want more, Alice has a Patreon and a Ko-fi for occasional donations. And that if you like the short comic, Alice says that they could do something like this when they have something to share. They're very angry, and you can find them everywhere at Alice Rovai as their handle. On a complete side note, a lot of people feel like Alice made it up. I'm gonna be so real. The amount of times that artists have worked for free and then gotten exploited as a result is a lot. We have this call out of an account that is posting a lot of AI pixel art. So this is the quote retweet that kind of kicked this off. It is posted by Z, or Twitter user Z_ZMag8, and Z writes, "Pixel art is not that hard. Using AI literally defeats the point of it because it has splotchy, uneven squares." This is the piece in question. And if you look at the piece, this is most definitely AI pixel art. I mean, AI art in general sucks, but like, come on. Big reason why you could tell if it's AI pixel art or not, okay, is because pixel art is done on a grid. You can only have one option of putting the dot next to another dot. So ideally, this is not the recommended, but like, you would do something like this, right? Wow. I don't know what I'm trying to draw, but something where, as you can see, in the grid, there's only certain places you can place your little pixel squares. So you often, unless given different artistic measures, whatever, like artistic choice, you often don't see kind of like stacking like this happening with pixels unless you're using like a massive brush, right? We don't see that happening, right? With pixel art, every brush stroke is a pixel. But here we have like curves, warping. The flowers in the mirror are bleeding into each other. Her eyes aren't even. This is very, very jumbled, zigzaggy, not pixels. The details on the bed are, what is this? It's like she's got an Etch-a-Sketch on here and perfume maybe? Even the dresser isn't straight. It's not straight, but it's not diagonal either. If you were to make a diagonal using pixel art, it's very, very specific because you're working on a grid. You can only do it so many ways, or you maybe like stagger it kind of like this, right? Which none of that is featured here. That's like one of the big ways you can tell AI pixel art. AI pixel art, honestly, out of all the AI art to spot, pixel art is the easiest one, in my opinion, to spot because there's only specific behavior that pixels can have. And then OP comments, "Oh, and pixel art should be on a grid like this since I do it from time to time." And they show examples of their pixel art, which is very, very cute. Other pixel artists in the comment section are showing their artwork as well. So you can see, you know, when we look at genuine pixel art compared to that, you can see the behavior of the pixels and how it has these types of like stair-step edges, because that's how pixels behave. On a complete side note, there are some people upset with kind of the sentiment that the artists have on this post writing, "Oh, pixel art is not even that hard." I personally will argue it may not be the most difficult medium out there. It's definitely not easy. And a lot of people might have the misconception, "Oh, it's pixels, so it's easy." Not necessarily, because surprisingly, even though the canvas is small, you get like a 64 by 64, 32 by 32, it actually takes a lot of care and detail to make it look normal and good. Because somehow, when your canvas size is restricted, you have to be very intentional with every pixel placement. And even like 1-2 pixels off can make your piece look really funky. And because you're very limited in how many pixels you can put, you need to be very intentional with each one to make it look like, oh, a strawberry and not just this funky looking carrot. So it actually is difficult. To give OP the benefit of the doubt, I really feel like OP was expressing their frustration towards the AI generation used here because they're familiar with pixel art. So I'm sure they know that pixel art is also, you know, requires a high amount of skill as well. I'm sure OP's sentiment is, hey, it's not difficult to learn how to make pixel art yourself, so why are you generating it when you could just draw it? But if we go over to this account, and again, don't send hate to any parties involved, including OP here. They're just an account that posts a lot of things they deem cute. I mean, to give credit, at least where it seems like if they can find the artist, they seem to have credited the artist here. A fair amount of what they've posted is, and again, we don't know if this posting account knows if it's AI or not. If you're not an artist, a lot of people who aren't artists can't tell. If you are an artist, you might look at this and be like, it's so obvious it's AI. Non-artists, they have a hard time telling, man, they really do. But we can see the fudgery that is happening with the fingers here. Or the wobbliness with the desk. Again, this is pixel art, except the pixels aren't behaving the way pixels normally do because it's not pixel art. Not to mention, this hand doesn't even have any fingers here. Some other pieces. This is a photo they took off of Xiaohongshu, which is Chinese Pinterest, or Little Red Note. So they likely didn't generate this themselves. This is very likely also AI artwork or AI generation due to the fact this is a keyboard with like 10,000 keys in a square. It is a square keyboard, not a rectangular keyboard. And it's, yeah. Another piece that's a bit suspect. Artistic choice. The fact that bro's got 4 fingers instead of 5. Or this very, very funky looking Hello Kitty in the back. The bear's face. These are not pixels. These look like they're kind of melting. Or these aren't pixels either going up here. So anyways, just those are some ways you can spot AI pixel artwork. I don't fault you if you just didn't recognize it, because if you're not an artist, you're not going to be able to tell. But now that you do know how to spot work that looks a bit suspect, now you know. Again, you don't know what you don't know.